Okay. Live, 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 live. That's live. What do we have down here? This one, I'm not quite sure what this one is. Was this one Facebook? I don't know. Was it Facebook? Let's find out. Apparently not. All right, well, so much for that one. What's this one down here? Ooh, this one's Instagram. Is this one Instagram down here? No, apparently it's not. Okay, sit tight. What was this one down here? It's either TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube. It's going to have to be YouTube because it isn't anything else. Which one is this? The 10-minute trader. Okay. Alrighty, and there we go, and there we go. There we go, and there we go. I think we have it. By Joe, I think he's got it. Good evening, everyone. This is James. We got one more right here. What is this one? What is that one? It's supposed to be Facebook, but apparently not. It's not going to be that. 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 Okay. Oh. It can't be that one, can it? I don't know. YouTube. I see you over there, Chris Jr. How you doing? All right. Well, that 10-minute trader. Wait a second. No, because 10-minute trader's live somewhere else. All right. Well, so much for this one. Looks like this one's just going to be the camera. Not now. Not now. And, okay, that one's having issues. Well, so much for that one. All right, well, good evening, everyone. My name is James. This is, we're starting. Okay, hold on. Okay, live. Oh, Zoom. That's what's missing, the Zoom class. There it is right there. Okay. Well, apparently we didn't do this quite right. 9, 15. There we go. Get rid of that one. Save that one. Copy invitation. Get out of the way. Go back to here. Alrighty, we're getting there. Hold on. Just a little slow today. Just a little slow. And there we go, and there we go, and there we go, there we go, and there we go, and there we go. All right. So, okay, those are up and running. Good, that works. Go over to here, and Yahoo Finance. There we go. Yahoo Finance, get rid of that one, get rid of that one. Let's go here, let's go there, let's go there, and come on, come on. That one's ready to go. Okay, ready, 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 ready. Ooh, I'm ready, 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 I'm ready. I'm ready, ready, ready to rock and roll. Not now, not now. Okay, hold on. Still getting this baby warmed up. I think that might be it. Might be. And we got all that back there. Good, 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 good. And there we go right there. Alrighty, well, that is AT&T. All right, I think we are good to go. I think so. All right, let's get the ball rolling. All right, live. We got one camera that's not working. That's okay. I'll learn to live without that one. Other than that, let's get the ball rolling. Like I said earlier, my name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10-Minute Trader, where I'm looking for specifically companies that have consistently increased their profits for at least 2 decades. Okay, I got a list for you if you need them. Okay, that being said, let's get the ball rolling. So what you're going to do is you're going to give me stocks to take a look at, and I'm going to put them into my little whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to go from there and see exactly how it works. All right? It's either good or it ain't. All right, that being said, let's get this camera up and moving. Not now, okay. And having issues with Instagram. All right, so we're having issues with Instagram and Facebook. Is what it is. What can I do? All right, so let's see who's here tonight. Say hi to everyone. Wakildo. Okay, we're going to take a look at CBS and Levi. Get back to that in a second. Who do we have over here? Over here we have Renee. How's it going, Renee? Christopher. Good evening, Christopher. Okay, I can't read that other one. I can't read that language. Did you know the paradox ship of Theseus? No, definitely on the wrong place, kiddo, but thanks anyway. What do we have over here? Over here, we have Junior. Sandor. What's happening, Sandor? Thank you. All right. Cetarian. Okay, interesting name. Miles, good evening. Thank you there, not Miles. Game Blocks. Okay. Brianna. Good evening, Brianna. Okay. Thank you. Hi, hello. All that kind of nice, neat, fun stuff. Nobody down here yet. Nobody there yet. Okay. So, who do we have over here? Who do we have? Rod, Blueberry, Thunder. What's happening? Trader United. All right. TX, Duger. Hedger, what's going on? FDX. Okay, let's take a look at FDX. Get that in a second. FDX. All right, I got it pulled up. We'll get to that in a second. I told you about FDX when it was at 240. It was going to blow. They're optimizing the biggest merger in history. Okay, Giovanni, Edgar, Johnny. Okay, number one, you told me at 240. It's at 361. Cool. Well, that was a long time ago. You told me 240. Hasn't seen 240 since November. Okay. Christopher, the Qs. Uh-oh. Christopher, you're going to be disappointed. Dr. Corey, what's happening? All right, what do we have here? Mighty Bargain, good evening. Blueberry, good evening. Cause and Astro, what's going on? Miss Sherry, good evening, Miss Sherry. Ben, how you doing? Our Flow Baquasm, okay. KNC, what's happening? Mighty Bargain, thank you for that. Big Kahuna. Alex, what's happening? How you doing there, Alex? Big Kahuna, Mighty Bargain. Edison, Luis. Thank you, Luis. Cam, Graber, Cajun, what's going on? Enza's in the house. Pedro, introduction music. Uh-oh. We've got our introduction music.
Here's the pen that erases scratches
that
instantly.
Ain't it.
Look, no cut,
on.
no Photoshop.
There it is. All right, who else do we have? Eddie, RDW, OBDC, Cyber, no idea. Okay, Cam, HPE, we'll get to that one. User 544484, yeah. Short Meta, okay. Sweet Den, how's it going? 18 Welder, Freckle Queen. All righty, let's go back to where we were. Right about, there we go. All right, so we kept the music. We'll get to that a little bit later on because the ball is getting ready to roll. Okay, let's go back to there. We'll join that in a few minutes. So, as I was saying, good evening. My name's James. This is Dividend Stock Talk. I'm going to show you how I look for simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. And those are dividend stocks, specifically dividend stocks that have consistently increased their profits. Okay? Now, we check every week. We haven't checked this week, so let's check it now. Just for the fun of it. Let's check. Let's go to FinViz. Finviz.com. We're going to take a look at the screener. And the screener is going to give us one number. And I'm only interested in one number. And that number is, come on. What's taking it? There it is right there. Uh-oh. Did you see that? The number has changed. 11,001. Let's do this. So y'all can see. You ready? There it is right there. 11001. 11,001. 11,001 stocks. That's how much we have to choose from this week. That's a lot to choose from. All right, so what I'm looking for specifically are companies that have consistently increased their profits to their shareholders. That's it. I want companies that have consistently increased their profits to their shareholders. That being said, let's get the ball rolling and let's see what we're looking at. Okay, first one on the list today is going to be FDX. Now, someone told us to buy it at 240. Now it's at 360. Okay. Now, I told you before, I don't buy stocks and hold them. None. Zip, zilch, zero, none. No desire to hold on to anything at all. I buy, collect a small profit, I sell. That's it. I'm looking for cash flow. Not just cash flow. Simple, safe, predictable, and consistent cash flow. Now, great. Someone told us to buy it at 240, which was down here. That was back in October and November of last year. And it ran up nicely and pulled back. Okay, great. Good for you. I'm glad it worked out for you. Every single night I get somebody saying, hey, you got to buy this. It's going to go to the moon. Great. And sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. But here's the thing. I don't care. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to buy something in October and wait until April to cash in. Okay, my bills come due every single month. That means, as a matter of fact, tomorrow I got to pay the slip for the boat. That's $1,300 right out the tube. Now, if I bought this back here in October and then I had to cash out tomorrow, well, fine. But what about my other bills that come due every single month? The boat slip is every single month. The mortgage, every single month. Insurance, every single month. I can't buy something, hold on to it for 6 months. I got no desire to do that. Now, some of you can, and that's good for you. Because here's the thing. We, me and all you, are on our own individual journey. My journey is different than yours. Your journey is going to be different than mine. What I'm looking for? Simple, safe, predictable 1% per week. Because what I have earned over the last 5 decades, yes, 5 decades. My first job was in 1974, Old Man Simmons Farm. Yep, I was a farmer when I was in elementary school, 5th grade. Okay, 5th grade, I was in elementary school. I got off the school bus in elementary school, jumped in the back of Old Man Simmons' truck. We went out to the farm and we did farm stuff. We did that for a couple of years, and then I moved on to other jobs, so on and so forth, but not the point. First job was 1974. I've been working 5 decades. Okay? So yeah, I'm entitled to retire. So the money that I've collected over the years now has to last me the rest of my life. So 1% a week works perfectly fine for me. So, let's check this out. You ready? So, FDX, FedEx. All right, well, let's take a look. Here's the high, just below 400, that's at 390. Here's the low, way down here, right around 200. Shoots up, almost doubles in price, pulls back, and then back up again. It doesn't look that bad. Let's take a look at the last 90 days. Okay, here you go. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Up, down, up, down, up. Okay, what's going on? The last 30 days, here you go, last 30 days. The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? Down, up, down, up. Well, we're at 361 at the moment. What does this week's 361s look like? Well, if I want to do FedEx this week, 361, the 360s are going for 790. Okay, that's almost 2%. If you like FedEx. Isn't that weird? It's like, don't buy something you don't understand and you don't want to own. That's rule number 1. Never buy something you don't want to own. All right, so let's take a look at FedEx. Going to do a covered call because it's a simple, safe trade. The 360 because it's at 361. Kind of makes sense. Let's cut it back to just one contract. Okay. So here's what the order should look like and should sound like. Buy one covered call, FedEx, 10 April 26th. That means this option is going to expire this coming Friday. The $360 call option. Well, if the stock is at 361 and I'm selling it for 360, walking away with $689 profit. That's a nice profit. And what does the stock have to do? It's just got to stay where it is at 361.63. I'm selling it for Now, in the last 2 weeks, I must have shown you at least nine times I bought something 361, sold it for less than what I paid for it, and still walked away with the profit within 5 days. Well, that's the idea, isn't it? A simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Why not? If 1% a week works for you, that's over 50% per year. It either makes sense or it doesn't, one or the other. Okay, so let's save this one. Wait a minute, before we do that, let's check out and see what the rate of return that would be. Because isn't that what we're concerned about? Buying and selling stocks, that's one thing. But what is your rate of return? Why are you doing this in the first place? Aren't you looking for some? Do you not do long-term holds? Kiki, no, I do not. Kiki, I'm 62 years old. 62. Okay, I'm retired. Okay, buying and holding something long-term, why? What am I waiting for? No, I understand, if you're not retired yet. But if I'm tying up some money, the money has to come from somewhere to pay my bills. So the question would be, if I was going to hold something, what would be the purpose? Number one. Number two, where would I get my income to pay my monthly bills? So I don't hold anything long term. Well, I do have some gold and silver. I'm just going to hold on to that. Who knows how long? Maybe when it goes up over 5,000, 6,000, maybe I'll think about cashing in. Until then, I don't need it, so I'm not going to. So in order to find out what the rate of return or what my return's going to be, I got to take the profit, which is right here, max profit, 689. Now, remember when I said earlier, I'm looking for a simple, safe, predictable, and consistent 1% per week. So, predictable comes in right here, okay? This is what I'm making profit before I even do it. Now, most of the time, people just bought the stock and had to wait for it to go up in order to get the profit. Well, here, with a covered call, I don't have to, because I buy it at the current price, okay? Then I turn around and I sell it, or I should say I pre-sell it. So, if I buy at the current price, 361, sell it for 360, pick this up, I know what my profit is going to be before I even do it. So that makes sense to me. Simple, safe, predictable. Now remember the part where I said consistent? That means this is a weekly optionable stock, which means every 7 days I can sell another covered call against the position that I have. So if I buy a couple hundred shares of this week I can collect $6.89 per contract. And then next week, if it doesn't hit my target, okay? So if I'm buying at the current price, selling it at 360, if it's 360 or above come this Friday, 10 April, that's this coming Friday, then someone's going to take these stocks away from me. I will get my money back, and I still get to keep this money. Now, if the stock goes down below 360, let's say it's 359.98. Okay, not quite 360. I get to keep the shares, sell another covered call. I get to keep this money too. Keep this money, keep the shares, and sell another covered call for next week, the 17th of April. And then I do it every single week until it hits my target. Well, think of it this way. If it is a weekly cash-producing asset, kind of like a vending machine, a gumball machine, soda machine, whatever, something that you can buy and sell on a weekly basis. That's what I'm looking for. Something that I can buy and sell on a weekly basis. So if I own the stock, great. Okay, if nobody takes it away from me, fine. I get to collect the dividends every 90 days, and every 7 days, I get to collect whatever premium is closest without putting me at risk. Okay, so profit, $6.89. What is my investment? Okay, Cost of the trade, including commissions and fees, $35,000. I know it's a bit pricey, but here's the thing. It's an investment. And the investment is paying me $689 every single week. So what does that come to? Divide that by 35,311, and that gives me a rate of return for 1 week, 1.9. 1.9%. Now, we all know, elementary school math. 1% every single week is going to be over 50% per year. Well, great, that works for me. 1.9%, that's going to be over 100% by the end of the year. Do the math. It's simple math. 1% every week. There's 52 weeks in the year, so 1% every week is over 50% return. Yes, you have to put some time and effort. It's called the 10-minute trader for a reason. It was designed for a 9-year-old. When my daughter was 9 back in 2008, she said, "Daddy, can you teach me?" So we're going to save this one at 1.9. All right. So when my daughter was 9 years old in 2008, she said, "Daddy, can you teach me?" I said, "Oh, okay." So it's not the easiest thing in the world to teach a 9-year-old how to invest in the stock market, especially when most adults don't even get it. Most adults have no clue how to invest in the stock market. Here we go. FedEx, 10 April, that's this coming Friday, $360 call option. Okay. Profit $689. Well, that's nice, 2%. The investment, $35,000 for 1.9. 1.9. We'll save this right there. And we're going to do this. Get rid of that one. Well, I hate it when it does that. It does that every once in a while. All right, so while that's doing that, let's do this. All right, next on the list. All right, so let's go back to the beginning of the list. Do you know the paradox ship thesis? No, I don't. KJ, I see you there. Carolyn, how's it going? Joseph, I see you over there too. How you doing? All righty. Let's get the ball rolling. All right, who else do we have here this evening? Down here. Okay, Wakalda wants to take a look at CVS. Okay, CVS. Interesting. Whoops. Here we go, CVS. Here's the top. Here's your bottom. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at the motion. Down, up, down, up. I love that right there. Tops here at 82, drops down to 70, bounces back up again. That looks good at the beginning. Well, let's look a little bit deeper before we get all excited about it. Current price, $73.49. Well, the closest strike price is going to be the 73, or I could do the 74. Either one. You get to choose. Which one makes more sense to you? Now, I do have to admit, the 73 is a safer trade. The 74 may be more profitable. You know what? Let's do both of them, and then you can decide which one makes more sense to you. Knowing the 74 may be more profitable, but the stock has to go up. The 73, well, it may not be as profitable, but it is a safer trade. And me, at my age, I prefer safety over profitability. I'm just weird that way, you know? All right, so let's check this out. Let's zoom into this, take a look at the last 30 days, and then see, does it make sense? It kind of does. 30-day high to 82, drops down to 65 before we have 3 days up from the 30-day bottom. Well, we have all that space to keep on going. So we can play this thing for at least 2 or 3 weeks and pick up 1, 2, 3% as the weeks progress until it makes no more sense to do it. And it will get to that point. You're going to get to a point where you buy something and it goes up, 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 and you collect 1%, 2%, 3%, and then all of a sudden it's just not paying as well, well, that's the time to let it go. I don't hold on to anything. All right. Let's see what we're going to do. So we're going to do the 73 and we're going to do the 74, and then you decide which one you think would be best. All right, let's get rid of this. Change this to covered call. There it is. We're going to do the 73 first. There it is, one contract. There it is, and here's Johnny. Buy one covered call, CVS, 10 April 26. That means this option is going to expire this coming Friday. Okay. The 73 call option is paying $185, and it's a $7,100 investment. So let's take a look at the rate of return for this week. Remember, I'm doing 1 week at a time. I'm here every night, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just to see what companies look good for tomorrow. Okay, well, let's find out. Calculator. 185 is the profit. The investment is 71.15, and that comes to 2.6. 2.6. All right. Let's save this one, 2.6. All right, 2.6 for the 73s. All right, 73, 2.6. All right, either makes sense or it don't make sense. Give it a minute while it warms up. Then we're going to take a look at the 74s and see which one makes more sense. Okay, I think we have to do it again because it didn't show up. Didn't show up. All right. Give it a second. There we go. All right, try it one more time. One more time, if we try. Well, okay. There it is. And there she is. CVS, 10 April, the 73s. Remember, this one's the 73. 185 is the profit. 7,115 for a 2.6%. Okay, 2.6. So we're going to do this right here. We're going to do this. What was it? 2.6. 2.6, and that's going to be the 73. This one, what was that one? 1.9. Yeah, 1.9. These we can get rid of. All right. That's not good. Hate it when it does that. All right. Now, next. We're going to do the 74s. Okay, so let's do the 74s while we're waiting for that. All right, so we are going to edit this. Edit, and we're going to do the 74s right there. Confirm and send. Why isn't this working? There we go. Okay, now the 74s, the exact same thing. Okay, the exact same thing. This time we're going to do the 74s. Come on. Here we go. One covered call, CVS, 10 April. That's this coming Friday. The 74 call option. Well, the 74 call option has a $230 profit. The investment's just about the exact same, $71.70. It's a little bit different, but not much. Okay, so calculator, what kind of rate of return is this? Okay, so we're going to clear this. 230 is the profit divided by the same investment, 7170, and that comes to 3.2. Do you see the difference? This one's 3.2. I'm going to explain to you why it's different. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, as soon as I explain to you why it's different, then you get to decide. Do I want to do the safer trade, or do I want to do the more profitable trade? Okay, I'm going to explain it in a second. Which is this one? 3.2. Okay. All righty, here we go. You ready? CVS, 10 April. That's this coming Friday. The $74 call option. So I'm going to write 74 over here. Okay? And profit, 230. The investment, 7170. So this one is 3.2%. Okay? Sit tight. 3.2. Okay, so the 73 option. All right, there we go. All right, the top one, 2.6%. By one covered call, CVS, 10 April, that's this coming Friday, the 73 call option. It's got a profit of 165. Well, that's 2.6% for 1 week. Well, same thing, but CVS, 10 April, this Friday, the 74 call option. That one paying 320. So what's the difference between the two other than the strike price? Well, at this moment in time, the stock, well, let's get rid of this. Okay, at this moment in time, the stock is currently at 73.49. It's kind of like in between 73 and the 74. So which one do you choose? If you choose the 73, it's a safer trade because stocks go 3 different directions. They go up, they go nowhere or sideways, some people like to call it, or they go down. So here's the thing, the 73, okay? If it goes up, great. You make your money, someone takes the stocks away. If it stays the exact same, great. You make the money, someone gives you your money back. They take the stock away. Okay, third, if it goes down, it's at 73.49. It can go down all the way to 73. As long as it's above 73 by Friday, you get all your money back. That's the 71.70. And you get to keep the profit. Okay, great. That's the safer trade. But it's only 2.6. Now, the 74 call option, it's 3.5 more money, but here's the thing. Okay? The stock is at 73.49. The 74, I get to keep the profit regardless. Okay? If the stock goes up above 74, I get all my money back. Okay, fine. But here's the thing. What if it doesn't go back up? If it doesn't go back up, this option expires worthless. I keep the stock, I keep this, and then I do it again next week, and I pick up another one. So the only difference between the two is the 73, the chances are better to getting your money back so you can pick something next week. The 74, if the stock goes up, you get your money back and then you choose something else. But if the stock doesn't go up, you get to keep the stock, choose another strike price next week. So the rules are very simple. Rule 1, never buy anything you do not understand or you do not want to hold on to long term. So if you don't like CVS, well, it's all irrelevant anyway. You shouldn't buy something you don't like. Kind of makes sense, right? All right, let's keep on going. Next, All right, that was CVS. You guys choose which ones you prefer. Me, I do safety any day of the week because I prefer safety over profitability. I'm just weird that way. All right, so what else do we have? Next. All right, we did that one. Dutch. Is it not important to you to reverse the image you want people to see in reverse? Dutch, how are you doing today? I'm fine. Thank you, by the way. Anyway, Dutch, just to give you a little smidge of important information. If you know how to reverse the camera, okay, it's the selfie camera on the iPhone coupled with YouTube's algorithm that does not allow me to invert the picture. So unfortunately, it's backwards. Instagram's the same way. Same thing with Facebook. They don't allow me to invert the camera. Sorry. Kissable, thank you. Okay, Richard wants to take a look at Costco. Why, Richard? Why? There's not a lot of people can afford $1,000 a share stock. Now, I could, but there's no way in hell I'm going to. Huge difference. See, I can get the same rate of return on a $10 stock that I could with a $1,000 stock. Okay, so $1,015. Okay, the 1,015 is going for $10.75, right around 1%. Why would I want to do that? Okay, here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is, shot up, down, up, down, up. Okay, let's zoom into that. Tell me what you think. Here you go, the last 30 days. Okay, here's the bottom 30 days ago. Shot up, there's your 30-day high, back down, back up. Look at the move from here to here. New 30-day high. Yeah, no thank you. Sorry, it just doesn't make sense. Mohammed, stand proud. You were brave. Okay, I have no idea what that means, but okay. Kissable. Conagra. Dude, you can't ask me to look at 5. I'll look at 1 or 2, but not all 5. Take your pick. Conagra, CAG. Interesting. Let's go this way. Okay, topped out at 27, bottomed out at 15, down, sideways, up, down, up. Okay, 15.72. The 16s are going for 15 cents. That's not even 1%. 15 is not 1% of 16. Let's find out. Last 30 days. Well, look at the last 90 days. Give us a better idea. You ready? Last 90 days. 30-day top, 30-day bottom. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Down, up, down, sideways. Okay. It is a slow upward trend to where we are now. Let's take a look. Could Conagra do it? I don't know. The 16s, right there. 16. There it is. One contract at 16. There it is. And here's Johnny. Hold on one second. Okay. Buy one covered call Conagra. CAG. 10 April, that's this coming Friday, the $16 call option. If they had the $15.50, I'd do that one, but I don't think, I wasn't paying attention. All right, $41 is the profit, $1,500 is the investment. So let's see, is this even going to work? Whoops, I hit the wrong button. They do have, I'm going to do the $15.50. All right, one contract. Try it one more time. All right, the $15.50. That sounds better. One covered call, Conagra, 10 April, the $15.50 call option. $11, 11, no way. That's not going to be 1%. Hell no. Let's find out. $11 is the profit. The investment is $15.39. Nope, that ain't going to work. Let's try the 16s. 16. All right. Basically the same thing. Okay, except for the $16 call. Get a $41 profit. All right. That one probably makes more sense. All right, 41 is the profit divided by the 1559. That gives me 2.6. Well, that makes more sense. The 1550 just didn't seem to work. All righty, so Conagra is going to work. That makes number 3 for the evening. So we got one more to go. Oh, sorry, we got 2 more to go. There she is. Conagra. Here we go. Right there. Nice. Conagra. 10 April. That's this coming Friday. Okay. The $16 call option. The stock is at $15.80. So we're going to do the 16. Pick up $41. It's going to cost me $1,500. Well, what rate of return is that? Oh, that's 2.6%. Well, yeah. Trent, what's happening, Trent? Trent, I'm going to apologize now, having a little bit of issues with Instagram. So thanks for showing up. All right, so 2.6. 2.6. Gotta love that one. All right. Come up a couple more. What else do we got? All righty. So, Mr. Lucky Larry, good evening to you. L Rover, Tesla. Uh-oh. Now, Tesla, I like the idea of Tesla. I do, but Tesla doesn't have any dividends. So it's going to be a little challenging to figure out exactly how and when to buy Tesla. So I'm going to show you something that I normally don't show you. Okay, here we go. Let's go this way. You ready? Here's the high. Here's the low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at this. Up, down. We're going to say no, only because it went up. Now it's coming down. All right, well, let's zoom into that last 30 days. Okay, what do you think? Okay, shoots up, pulls back, up, back. Yep, it's still coming down. Well, don't get me wrong, Tesla is one of those companies you just don't know when to jump in. So let's take a look at what I call, or not I call, but someone else calls it, the seasonality chart. Now let me explain to you what a seasonality chart is so that you understand. All the way to the left is January 1st. All the way to the right is December 31st. That's one whole year. So the blue line represents the movement so far this year. The red line represents the movement throughout the year based on 10 years of data. What does it normally do on average? Well, over the year, she has a tendency to drop in the first quarter, bounce up in the second quarter, level out, jump up in the third quarter, level out, and jump up in the fourth quarter. So at this moment in time, this is where we are. April, May, June, right there. Okay, this is the second quarter. Here's where we are. Okay, basically sideways and a tiny bit up towards the end of the second quarter, end of June. April, May, June, second quarter, April, May, June. So here we are right now. So we're dipping a little bit. We're going to flatten out the end of April all the way to the beginning of June before we slowly go back up again. That's Tesla. If you like Tesla. That's what it comes down to. You either like the company or you don't. That's it. Maria, how are you today? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So, do I want to do Tesla? At this moment in time, I'm going to say no because she's still heading down. Sorry. What else do we got? Charlie, just use a mirror next to your cell phone. Then you can see everything the correct way. Okay. So Kissable wants to take a look at American Airlines. All right. Now, I appreciate the mirror idea. I do. However, I wouldn't be able to see the comments. And if I use the mirror, all the comments and the questions would be backwards. So either take the comments and the questions normally, or the comments and the questions backwards and have the chart normal. I don't know. That's a tough call. We'll have to take a look at that one. All right, so American Airlines. Let's go back this way. Okay, the high, 1650. We bottomed out at 9. Jumped up, pulled back. Now we're kind of going nowhere. So let's zoom into this nowhere land, see what's going on there. Now, from the high recently, okay, here's the high recently, 1550. We dropped down, here's your bottom, went up, pulled back. No real direction over the last couple of weeks, just kind of going in a channel. So no. Sorry. Honeywell. Okay. H-O-N. All right. I just did something. I don't know what it was. But give me a second while I do this. Settings. Increase brightness. Yeah, so much better. There we go. I like it nice and bright so I can see it, not straining my eyes. Okay, so here's Honeywell. Here's your top. What is that? 248. Here's your bottom, 170. Shoots up, pulls back. Shoots up, pulls back, shoots up. Okay, so that right there doesn't look that bad at all. It's at 229. All right, so let's go to the high of the year, see where we are. So here's the high of the year, 248. Drops down to 220. Now we're going back up. Look at all that space we have to play with. Well, yeah, that looks good. So at the moment, we're at 229.45. All right, well, the 230 is going for 245. That's over 1%. So if we like Honeywell, let's check it out. All right. And here we go. And we want the 230. There it is, right there. And one contract would sound something like this. Are you ready? Buy one, covered call, Honeywell. 10 April, that's this coming Friday. The 230 call option. 337 is the profit, 22,000 is the investment. Let's see what is the rate of return. It's all a garden media. It's all a garden media. I think you just said the missing piece for me. I couldn't get it. I have been looking for weeks. The missing piece, huh? All right, you could always send me your phone number and I can give you a call and we can chat and maybe explain it a little bit better. DJ Flawless, I see you there. Let's take a look at this. Okay, 337 is the profit. We're going to divide it by the investment. 22,663 comes to a grand total of 1.5. Okay, I like 1.5. Yes, yeah. You have to ask yourself the same question. Do I like Honeywell? Do I like Honeywell? That's a question. Do you like it? Okay. 1.4. Okay. 1.4 is not the greatest in the world, but still, it's above 1%. Actually, it's 1.5. Silly me. Here it is, 1.5 Honeywell. There it is. Honeywell. 10 April. That's this coming Friday. The 230 call option. Do you see this? It's currently at 232. Whoops. 232. All right. 337 is the profit. 22 is the investment for 1.5. Now, we all know that 1% every week is over 50% per year, so 1.5 has got to be at least 60, 70%, something like that, if you're okay with that. It's always going to be a trade-off. Either you like it or you don't like it. It's a decision you have to make. What companies do you like? What companies do you believe in? What companies do you feel safe putting your own money into? And that's the question you got to figure out. What do you like? What you don't like? All right, so let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's go back to that. Let's go back to this. And let's get rid of this. 1.5. We got room for one more, and that is it. 1.5. Yeehaw. All righty. What have we missed? All right, we're going to grab a seat, answer some of these questions. All right. All right. All right, let's keep on going. What do we have? Question. Now, I'm not ignoring your questions for those you guys put questions up. I can only do one at a time, so sit tight. What do we have down here? Okay, Richard, I'm not even going to do Rivian. Rivian hasn't been around for 20 years yet. It's going to be a no. Elaborate, please. SMK. You got to come up with a better question than elaborate. You want me to elaborate on my haircut? You want me to elaborate on how I spell certain things? I elaborate on what in particular. Better question gives you a better answer. L Rover only calls. That's all I'm giving away for tonight. Charlie, no, I'm saying for people who are watching you use the mirror. Oh, for those people, I get it. I'm saying I use the mirror to see you the correct way. That's what I'm telling others to do. I get that. I do. And it does make sense for you. But if I use a mirror, all your questions are going to come out backwards. So that's a good idea. All right. Thank you there. FB Insider, everything on your screen is like looking in the mirror and backwards. Got to fix that, man. Okay, if you know how to fix it, you let me know. All right, so what do we have over here? Ooh, lots of questions. Holy cow, we got a lot of questions. Lot of questions. TX, Duger family. Yep, we did FDX. Wait a minute. FDX. What the heck is FDX? Oh, that's FedEx. Yeah, we did that one already. Giovanni, how are you doing today? Cryptopher, I'm going to say no to the Qs. Hey, you want me to look at the Qs? Why? Okay, they're $584 a share. All right, well, let's take a look. Not that I'm going to do it, but I'm going to, I'll take a look. You ready? Here's the high, 640. Here's the bottom, 400. She goes from 400 to 640. That's a 50% increase. Now we drop down to 560. Now we're at 580. Okay, great. Let's zoom in. Last 30 days. That's pretty plain and simple, right? Top, bottom. Where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Down, up. Okay. The 585s are going for 760. Well, that's over 1.5% if you like the Qs. I don't, because they're not consistently profitable. I know people always say it's an index. It's not supposed to be. Yes, it is. Because, see, if you buy the Qs, you get a quarterly dividend, depending on how they run it. Where do I send my number? You get two choices. One, okay, you're on TikTok. No, wait a minute. You're on YouTube. So you can go right to the bio in YouTube and send me your phone number. Or you could go to the website, The 10-minute trader and book a call there. Either way. But me personally, okay, I'm not going to pass you off to someone else. I personally will give you a call. And that goes for the rest of you. Okay, you got a question? I have no problem. I love talking to people. I do. I want to see how can I make it better for people. You know what I mean? How can I make this better? So, SLB. Ooh, that's Schlumberger. I love Schlumberger. SLB, Schlumberger, is a dividend king, and it's going to be a no. Sorry. I'll show you really quickly. Now, for me, it takes me anywhere between 2 to 4 seconds. I'll try that again. 2 to 4 seconds to see whether or not I even want to look at this. Okay? This is what I'm looking for. You ready? High, low, where was it? Where is it? And where is it going? You see that? Okay? 2 to 4 seconds. Okay? The high, the low, where was it? Where is it? No. Okay? Let me zoom in a little bit closer. Okay? Here's the high. Here's the low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. It dropped. It shot up. Now it's dropping again. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Schlumberger. I do. And I'm going to write this thing down for 2 weeks from today. Because I don't think it's going to hit the bottom this week. And next week, it probably will. Not next week, but the week after. You know what I mean. SLB. All right. Next on the list. All right. All right. Over here. Qs. All right. Qs are going to be a no. What does that say? Peniel Charlie. Charlie, what's happening? Dim FX Trader. How you doing? Warren. Thank you for that, Warren. The Hager family. Yes, a year. Okay. Okay. Yo Yadi. All right. Good evening. Clemente. Good evening. Egg Farmer. Oh, Egg Farm. How you doing? Thank you there, user 155663374, whatever. Pedro, thank you there, Pedro. All right, T Deal wants to take a look at Coles. All right, well, here's Coles right here. I'm going to get up for this one because I actually do own some Coles. Kind of curious what's going on with my Coles. $25 is the top, 6 is the bottom, shoots up, pulls back. Now we're going sideways at 1282. Okay, let's zoom into that one. Here we go. 30 days ago, we're at 17. We dropped down to 12, and now we're just going sideways. We're at 1282 at the moment, which means the 13s are going for just less than 3. Okay. All right, so let's give this one a try. I'm going to do 13s on Coles. 13 right there. 1 contract on Coles. Here is what the numbers look like. Are you ready? Where do I send my number? I just told you, dude. All right. Buy Coles. 10 April, that's this Friday. The 13 call option. The price right now is $12.70. 56 is the profit. 1,200 is the investment. What rate of return is that? Let's find out. Calculator. 56 profit. 1244 is the investment. Gives me a rate of return of 4.5. Well, I don't know. Is 4.5 good for 1 week? All right. I'm going to save this one. 4.5 on Coles. I love Coles. I do. It's one of those, whoops. Let's try it one more time. Try it one more time. If we try one more time for all. All right, we're going to do that. We're going to do this. 4.5. I like 4.5. I do. So let's see it. There it is right here. And this is number 5 for the evening. Number 5, calls. 10 April, the $13 call option. $56 for one contract. One contract's $1,200. 4.5% for 1 week. If you like calls. You don't like it, don't do it. 4.5. Gotta love it. Next. All right, let's sit down and get comfy again. Charlie, talk to you later. I just dropped by for a short time. Thank you, Charlie. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for contributing. What do we have over here? DJ Flawless, what's the lowest valued stock that sometimes meets your strategy? I think we did one for like $2.50. I forget which one that was. Which one was that? RNWK? No. That isn't it. I don't know. Who remembers that stock we did? Like it was $2.50. That was probably the lowest one I can think about. All right. Boondog. What's happening? Thank you there, Boondog. Shopperlative wants to take a look at Apple. Apple's one of those stocks that just keeps going up every single year. And it's in a good position at the moment. Let's check it out. Now, we're not going to be doing any more. We get 10:21. We get 30 minutes to take a look at all these suggestions. Do you not do long-term holds? No. Kiki, why would I hold something long-term? Because whatever I hold long-term, well, is it going to give me weekly cash flow? No? Yes, no? Kiki? I don't know if she's still there. All right. So anyway, Apple, look at the last 30 days. That looks pretty damn good, doesn't it? 30 days ago, we're at 277. We dropped down 246. Now we're bouncing back up. See? Down, up. Well, that kind of works, doesn't it? What are we looking at? 255, 395. That's over 1%, if you like it. It's one of those questions. Do you like it? Mike Fathery. How you doing, Mike? Tricky Trick 13. Intel, I bought puts in the money Thursday. On Intel? INTC. You bought puts in the money. Good. Okay. Well, in the money puts. Okay. You bought them or you sold them? I suppose buying them, but then why would you buy them? The 51s are going for $2. Okay. If she drops, that'd be nice. But see, here's the thing. You got that gap right there, and you got these two big up days, making a new 30-day high. So more than likely, there will be some pullback, but how and when? I don't know. Derbs, how you doing? Boondog, thank you. X, good evening. Mighty Bargain, CSX Corporation. Ooh, interesting. Again, look at the move. It was 26, jumped up to 44, dropped down. Now she's going back up again. Look at that right there. Let's zoom into that one. Uh-oh. What happened on Friday? Take a look. Here's the top on Thursday. Okay, a couple weeks ago we're at 40, dropped down to 38, shot up to 42, now we're coming back down again. So this right here, Friday, Thursday was the high, Friday says 1 day down, so is that the beginning of profit taking? Well, we went from 38 to 42. So 38 to 42 is over $4. That's over a 10% jump. So yeah, profit taking looks like. No guarantees, but it could be. Edison, how are you today? Jill, good evening. Lucid, you say. LCID. Lucid. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so what are your thoughts here there, Miss Jill? Okay, Lucid was at 34 at the high. That was back in July. Now, we went from 34 down to 9. Or 10, 996. So 34 to there, that's a 60% drop. It's a big drop. Okay, we're at 24, shot up to 34, dropped down to 10. Okay. Doesn't make any sense. What's the last 30 days? Okay, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, that kind of looks good. You get the high way up here. You have all that space right there to keep on moving up if you like it. The 10 is going for 36, which is over 3%. If you like this, Jill. Okay? Because she has all that space to keep on going. Next. Oh, Wikildo, I don't even know how to pronounce that one, wants to take a look at Levi's. Isn't that a monthly? Levi Strauss. It's not a monthly. April? Okay. Interesting. Well, Levi Strauss is now a weekly. Imagine that. Live restricted for some audiences. Why do they keep doing that? Whatever. We're almost done with the evening, so whatever they say. All right, so Levi's has a top of $25, bottomed out at 12. So from 12 to 25, that's 100% profit. 100%. Okay, a year ago, we're at $12, shot up to 25. That's 100%. Okay, pulled back, went sideways, dropped. Now she's going back up again. Last 30 days. Here's your top at 23. Drops down to 1750. Now we're at 1890. Okay, so the 19s are going for 75. Well, that looks good if you like Levi's. Got it, Kiki. Way to go. Levi's. Oops, and Lucid. LCID. Okay. Next. Steve Willett, how you doing today? Jimmy Warren, check your feed. Uh-oh, lost connection. All right, in that case, if we lost connection, all right, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's start over again. Reboot there. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. Whoops. That. Let's do that. There we go. All right. That being said, let's go over to the other screen. Okay, over here. Coles. Big Fish wants to take a look at Yaba. Yabba dabba doo. Oh, righty. Yep, I fell for that one. Thank you there, Big Fish. Hager family, you would have gained tons of cash flow. Not necessarily so. Because anytime someone tells me to tie up my money, well, how much of my money do you want me to tie up? Okay, I don't tie up my money for anything. So what kind of cash do you have to pay with to be at that level? Well, I'm 62. Okay? So I'm retired. Gabriel, how long do you wait to know if a stock is bottomed out? Okay, Gabriel, I look for the 30-day bottom. Okay, take a look at this one right here, Levi's. Okay, here's the top here, 23. We bottomed out here. That's your bottom. She goes up, she pulls back down. A new bottom, back up, back down. No, the only way you can tell it's a bottom is by what is next to it. Okay, so she bottoms out. Here, I'll give you a better idea. Okay. Now, do you see this right here? Here's the top. Okay, here's your bottom right there. Is that the bottom? Well, it's the bottom at this moment in time, but the very next day, look, it went up. Okay, so that is the bottom. Oh, no, it ain't. See? Every single day, it's dropping. You don't know where the bottom is until you have something next to it to compare it to. I like 2 days on the bottom. On the third day, I will jump in. Okay, bottom, this is 1 day. Okay, not there. Okay, a new bottom. Okay, so it is what it is. She is going up, if that makes sense to you. Ben wants to take a look at Ford. All righty. Thank you. Jill, V-O-Y-G. Now, Jill, I've never heard of that one before. V-O-Y-G. Voyager Technologies. All right, Jill, I'm going to say no. And the reason I'm saying no, Jill, April, May, July, August, September. You know, these are months. Okay, those are months of the year. April, May, July, August, September, October, November, January. Those are months of the year. Don't really do me any good. Okay? What I'm looking for, Jill, is weeklies. 10 April. That's this Friday. 17 April. That's next Friday. 24 April, 3 Fridays away. 1 May, 4 Fridays away. 8 May, 5 Fridays away. 15 May, 22 May, so on and so forth, every 7 days. That is a weekly option. Rule 4, weekly options only. That's it, weekly options only. Okay? Sorry, Jill. Ben, Ford. Okay, interesting. Let's take a look at Ford. Okay, get the high, 1460, drops down. Now she's bouncing off right there, 1160. The 1150s are going for 24. 1165, you're losing 15. Take 15 off of that. That'd be 9? Hell no. Those numbers don't work. 12s. Yep, nope. Sorry, the numbers don't work for Ford. Sorry, Ben. Jill, N-A-K. What is N-A-K, Jill? Northern Dynasty? Really? I'm going to say no, Jill. Now, Jill, I'm sorry if I'm getting a little unhappy here because I keep saying no. Well, the reason I'm saying no this time, 80 cents. This thing was below $1 August and September last year. So the question I have for you, Jill, if this thing is below $1 last year, how could it possibly have 2 decades of increased profits? That's 10, 20 years. 20 years of profits. How can you have 20 years of profits if it's at 80 cents? Most likely it's going to be a no. Now, Zach, Microsoft, MSFT, this company has over 25 years of increased profits. Here's your top. Here's your bottom. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at this. Up, down, up with 373. Well, what does that look like? Okay. 425. Well, that kind of looks okay. 373. The 372.50s are going for 6. That'll work. The 375. Yep, that'll work also. Ooh, look at the bounce. That's a nice bounce. 410 goes down to 355. Now it's bouncing up. If you like Microsoft. Thank you, Zach. All right. I'm going to write Microsoft down. Always on top of my list. Okay, what do we have next? Thank you, Zach. You're welcome. Okay. All right. So what kind of cash do you need? Okay, everyone's different. Okay, Hager family. So what kind of cash do you have to play with to be at that level? It's always going to be different for everyone. Zap, I'm going to ignore that altogether because you are not paying attention. Okay? O Realty is a monthly optionable stock. It's a no, hell no. All right, Kiki, do I do long-term holds? My idea of long-term, Kiki, is 30 days. Okay? When you get older and you're retired, you let me know what you think long-term is. Okay? Now, when I first started out with my family and my children were little, yeah, well, long-term was 30, 40 years. Well, now that I'm retired and I have grandchildren, it's a lot shorter. Okay? Eric Ramirez, how you doing? Giovanni, Campbell's Soup, huh? CPB. Interesting. We're going to be a no, and the reason we're going to be a no for today, you ready? Okay, here's the top. 39, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Still dropping. It's still dropping. Sorry. Sorry. All right, Kevin. How you doing, Kevin? The Hager family. That's interesting. If you're 20 holding big win. Okay. Now, I have 99% sure signal, and I have powerful scalping strategy, so don't waste your time. Link in the bio. Okay, thank you there, Arthur. I appreciate that. All righty. Let's do this. Try this one more time. All righty. Thank you, Zach. You're welcome. Quran tutorial. Really? You want to look at PLTR? Why would you want to look at PLTR? They're not consistently profitable and they have no dividends. It's like coming to a, dog show without a dog. It doesn't seem to work that way. Now, I don't like PLTR only because they're not consistently profitable. Just to know. But you choose when to sell or hold. You're absolutely right. How do you determine what the rate on investment is? It's a math problem. Okay, Hager family? Just the math. Corey B, AT&T, 5 years has outperformed Bitcoin. Okay. I'm not quite sure that's the right answer because I do remember Bitcoin starting out at a penny many years ago. AT&T had 100 years to do what they're doing, and AT&T is only at 28. So I'm not quite sure why you would say AT&T has outperformed Bitcoin. Maybe in the last couple of weeks, because a couple of weeks ago we were at 23, now we're at 29. That's only a $6 increase. That's only 60%. Okay, so a 60% jump from 23 to 29, fine. But at this moment in time, it's not that glamorous. Okay, we dropped, shot up, now we're dropping again. See how it's dropping again right now? Okay, until it's done dropping, it's going to be a no. Sorry. Dutch, he doesn't care about fixing the image and more likely doesn't know how to do it. No, Dutch, I'm going to agree with you 100%. I don't know how to fix it. And not a single person who showed up in the last 3 years knows how to fix it either. If you know how to fix it, let me know. Hager family, thank you. Yep. How you determine what the rate of investment is. Okay, Hager family, you've got to decide for yourself what makes sense. Okay, so hypothetically speaking, let's say you got 50 grand. How much are you going to put in each position and how many positions are you going to have? Okay, we all have that decision to make it up on your own. You have to decide what makes sense to you. You know, do you want to put 10% in each position, 20%? And then you got to figure out where's your buys, where's your sells? What is that going to look like? So I got to send this guy a message. Pin message report, channel activity, blah, 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 blah. How can I send him a message? Doesn't seem to work that way. Okay. All right. Kiki, are you only doing covered calls? Well, Kiki, I do more than covered calls in my trading group. But here, for free, I give away one trading strategy, and that's it. So, Kiki, if you had questions, DM me your number or go to the website and just book a call, and I'll give you, and we'll chat. Okay? Holy hot fish, what ticker? Oh, dude, we've looked at a lot of them. Okay. I don't know why that battery's low. It's all a garden media. Thank you for that. It's all a garden media. How do I get that seasonality chart? Is it a study? Holy hot flash! It is it's right on Thinkorswim. Okay, and there are other places you can find a seasonality chart. You just have to look in the right places. Matter of fact, go to Google, see if you can do one there. I think you just said the missing piece from me. I couldn't get it. I had been looking for weeks. Okay. Toker. Need to buy IBM? What is IBM doing? Interesting. I like it. Take a look. Here we go. Here's the high, 325. Here's the bottom. Was that 218? We shoot up, pull back. Shoot up, pull back. Shoot up, pull back, shoot up. Okay. Right there. What's happening? Last 30 days. 30-day top, 30-day bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days going up, and we have all that space left to go. If that makes sense to you. It either does or it doesn't. You either like IBM or you don't. But here's the bottom. 234. Now she's moving up. How far up is she going to go? Who knows? But the 30-day high is right here. You know, that we have all that space left to go if you like IBM. Joe, hi. Thoughts on UNH? United Health Group. Interesting. What I don't like about UNH, it was at 600 last year. Now we're at 277, bouncing up. Look at your last 30 days. Okay, we're at 295. We dropped to 240 to 255. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days going up. Here's where we are now at 277. We have all the way up to 295. That's plenty of space to run. And the 277s are going for $9 if you like UNH. UNH. I'm writing that one down for tomorrow. I understand this whole thing. Alrighty then. Thank you, I guess. Alex is in the house. How's it going, Alex? Okay. KR Bati, WDC. WDC, Western Digital. I'm going to say no to Western Digital only because look at where we are. Okay? We were at 25 a year ago. So 25 a year ago, we jumped up to 320. That is a nice rate of return. Who knew Western Digital was going to go from 25 bucks all the way up to 320? Nobody knew that. Dylan, what's a good stock to buy tomorrow? Can you flip your screen? Can I flip my screen? I'm not quite sure what you mean by flip my screen because you're looking at it correctly. WDC, how do you get to the seasonality chart? You actually have to look up on the dividend stocks. Over the past 5 years, Bitcoin has significantly outperformed AT&T, with Bitcoin delivering returns of roughly 984, while AT&T shareholders' return was approximately 47. My Music X, thank you for that. Someone said something. Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, that's over the last 5 years. Okay. All right. Roy, I do call options because it's affordable. I can't afford to buy 100 shares. Okay, Roy. Now, I do have a trading strategy called Dividend Capturing 2.0. It has to do with smaller accounts. You know, accounts below $4,000 or $5,000, even accounts down. Because my grandson's 6, okay, and his account is like $50. Okay, so it's called fractional shares, and then you just divvy it up to how many you can buy. So if he does $50 and does 5 positions, what was it, $10 per position? And as they go up, okay, it's all garden media. I'm not quite sure what you mean by flip my screen. Okay, Arbati, CCJ, what is that? CCJ. Chemical Corporation. Okay. It's at $40, jumped up to 135. Nice jump. Okay, we're at 112. Okay, so here's the top, 135. Here's the bottom, 35. So it goes from 35 to 135. Drops to 100. Now we're at 112. 57. All right. So the 113s are going for 293. That's over 2%. It either makes sense or it doesn't. We got some more questions. Let's see how many we can get to. Okay. Do you recommend for a long-term investment QQQM and SCHG for 10 years? Joe, tell you what I'm going to do. I have not found anyone yet that has spoken my language, so to speak. Thank you so much. Okay, so it's all a garden media. Okay, thank you. So, Joe, this is going to be for you. You ready? Do you do gold? No, I don't. Now, I do get paid in gold. I get paid in gold and silver, but I don't trade it on a regular basis. Everything is reversed on here. Bria, yes it is. Do you know how to fix it? I ask that question to everybody who complains about it being reversed, and not a single person has been able to fix it. Okay. Okay, so Joey, we're going to take a look at QQM. Are you ready, Joey? You might not like what I got to show you. QQQM. Imagine that. Doesn't have one for QQQM. All right, let's go to here. Historical data. Give me a second. We're going to look at the Qs in a second. Q, 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 M. All right. All right, so, Joey, Joe, you ready for this? You want to take a look at QQQM. It's $240 per share. What we're going to look at, Joe, is we're going to look at how consistently profitable is QQQM. You ready? Hold on. Here we go. Okay, this is this year. Okay, we want to go back 20 years. All right, you got a major problem with this one. Okay, so Joey, the major problem I have with QQQM, it's only 6 years old. First dividend was 2020. Okay, first dividend or first profit that they're sharing was in 2020. That was 6 years ago. So 6 years, that doesn't work for me. I want 2 decades. That's 20 years. Okay, so no. Let's take a look. First dividend was 20. 15, that's lower. 18, higher, lower, lower, higher, 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 lower, lower, higher. That doesn't make sense at all. It's not profitable. Okay, lower, higher, higher, lower, 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 higher, higher, lower, lower, higher, higher. So this thing went down about the same amount as it's gone up. So ask yourself the question, why are you investing into a company or an entity, call it whatever you want, okay? Half the time it goes up, the other half of the time it goes down. So why would you invest in that? I have not found anyone yet that spoke my language, so thank you. You're welcome. Do I do gold? No. Or does anyone know if he does gold? No, I don't do gold. Now, see, it's all a garden media. The reason I don't do gold is there's no way possible. I'm going to say this very slowly so you understand what I'm talking about. Now, I could be wrong, and you're all welcome to correct me. As far as I know, okay, there's no way to get weekly cash flow from gold. Okay? Now, I have some gold, and not once, ever, 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 has anybody knocked on my door and said, hey, James, here is your weekly allotment or your weekly return on your gold. It doesn't work that way. Gold is nothing more than a dust collector. It holds the value that you have. It will retain your value, but it won't give you cash flow, not on a weekly basis. Okay? The physical gold itself will not give you cash flow. And I don't have the desire to have an investment that doesn't pay me on a weekly basis. Okay, so Red Eye Jedi, you got to give me the ticker symbol for Callaway. I have no idea who they are. Well, I know who they are, but I don't know anything about their stocks. Nothing. So I think we're all done because I don't think there's any more questions. Missy Claim, how you doing? How you guys doing down here? You guys got no questions over here? Oh, we got questions. What do we have? All right. Happy Easter. Thank you. Luke wants to take a look at CRML. Luke, how you doing today, brother? Hope's all well. Let's check it out. CRML. Luke, what is that? CRML. Critical Metals Corporation. Ooh. Okay, let's check it out. The high's at 32. the bottom's at $1. She goes from $1 to 32, back down to 6, back up to 22. Now we're sitting around 8. Okay. Well, the 840 is bouncing right there. Let's zoom in a little closer. Okay. Here's your top. Drops back up. Okay, fine. The 850 okay, the 850 is going for 40 cents, which is over 4%. If you like critical metals, it's a yes or no. I think we're done. There's no more question. Gold is not weekly generating. I'm well aware of that, Alex. Thank you. It's all Garden Media. He does not do gold. Okay. Oh, wow. More questions. Gold is not weekly generating. Great. 80s, Papa Smurf. How do you find a good stock to do due diligence on that gives good weekly premiums? Ooh. Papa Smurf, you ready? Dividend Kings. Dividend Aristocrats. Dividend Champions. Dividend Contenders. Than anything on old Warren's list. That's about 350 different companies, all consistently profitable. Levi has ER this week. ER? Earnings? Is that it? Yep, thank you there. Luke, do you think HIMS is on its way to recovery? Do you think it's dollar cost average this week? My entry average is 35. Ouch! I did get rid of my HIMS. Okay? Here we are. The high is 70. The bottom is 15. Up, down, up, down. Now, we had, or I should say, that HIMS had a little bit of an issue. It had a lawsuit. Well, after the lawsuit, look what happened. Okay, dropped. Big gap up after the lawsuit. Now she's dropping. Why? I don't know. Well, 19 is there, and it's paying 89, which is over 4%. If you like HIMS. Okay, at 1914. Me? If I were in your position, I'd do the 21s or the 2050s, because bringing in a halfway decent premium until it recovers or until you get to the point where you can dollar cost average, whichever way. What else do we got? We already looked at Costco earlier. Alex, Unity. Ooh, Alex, that's nifty. Take a look at that. Okay, we're here at 15, jumped up to 52, dropped down to 17. Now we're jumping up right there. That's a nice jump, but you got a minor problem there, dude. Okay, do you see your minor problem? Okay, previous 30-day high was there. She went from 17 to 23. That's $6. $6 on a $17 stock is over 30%. Who came up with this? Alex. From 17, gapped up, kept on jumping. That's 30% right there, dude. Now, it could keep going up, but I think 30%, people are going to start taking profits. Anthony, how are you doing? Roy, SPCE. Virgin Galactic. Interesting. Hold on. Okay, so Roy, check it out. The high was $6.50. Then we dropped down to $2.46. Who is asking about a low dollar stock? Right there. Virgin Galactic. Here's your last 30 days. Sideways, down, shot up, pulled back. Here we are right here. Depends on how you feel about it. What else do we have? Herbert Gaffney. How you doing, Herbert? Thank you. Luis Suarez. What can go south with this strategy? Okay, Luis, I find most people lose money with this strategy by hitting the wrong button. As silly as that sounds, hitting the wrong button is the major reason most people lose money. That's it. Jimmy Warren. I love Procter & Gamble. It's a 100-year-old company, Dividend King. Here's your top at 172, drops down to 137, shoots up to 167. Now we're sitting at 143. Look at that big drop. Last 30 days. 168, falls down to 142. Now we're just going sideways. No real direction until we have some type of direction, which there isn't at the moment. See, just going sideways, just staying in that little area. Sorry, and I like Procter & Gamble, I do. It's over 100 years old, and they have 5 decades of increased profit. Hey, Jim, I like APLD, okay, Conagra, and CMG. Alrighty. We're going to check it out tomorrow. Frankie, what strategy you use? Frankie is called Dividend Capturing 2.0. Alex, thank you. Kiki. Ooh, Kiki wants to take a look at Micron. What do you think, Kiki? We're at $50. Shoots up to $4.75. Okay, from $50 to $4.75. That's almost, was it 400 and something percent? Then she pulls back. Now she's going back up again. Okay. Last 30 days. What do you think? 470 drops down to 310. Now we're bouncing. I don't know. 366. Well, currently after hours at 373. That's going for 11. Well, hell yeah. The numbers look good if you like the company. Jill, Casey's General Stores. Jill, you actually got to give me the ticker symbol because I have no idea who Casey is, and I didn't even know he had a general store. If it's supply and demand, or what strategy exactly? Frankly, it's called Dividend Capturing 2.0. As we look at dividend stocks that consistently increase just before the EX dividend date, and then we jump in and get out. You don't see the ticker symbol? Go to Google. Go to Google, ask Google. Casey's General Store, what is the ticker symbol? And do they even have one? That's a good question. Thank you there, Alex. Frankly, weekly options that earn 1% per week. Thank you. Ego Queen. Yes, Ego Queen, 1% every single week. So 1% every week is going to come to over 50% per year if that works for you. Okay. Thank you there, Kevin. Lewis. Thank you there, Mr. Lewis. What's your thought on PBR and ET for long-term investors? Okay, ET for me is a definite no. Now, I'm telling you why it's a definite no. Are you ready? Okay. Who came up with that one? Lewis. It's Casey. I don't see it. Okay, Jill, sit tight for a second. Thank you, Kevin. So, Lewis, are you ready for this? Energy transfer. Okay, fine. It's not what I'm looking for. This right here. See, at the money, I'm making 1%. One strikeout, I'm making less than a half. And then as you continue down, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So as the stock drops and I lower my strike price, I'm getting nothing. So I take that into consideration. So ET I don't do anymore because the premiums are horrible. Now the other one, peanut butter and raspberry, PBR. PBR. Okay, now the reason I'm going to say no to this one is we were at 11, now we're at 22. That's a 100% increase. Okay. Okay, it went from 11 up to 21 and a half. Now it's coming back down. I don't buy at the high. It's just a plain out, flat out no, hell no. I don't buy at the high. It's no. Sorry. Casey, you say, Miss Jill. C-A-S-Y. 2 reasons for a no. You ready, Jill? Reason number 1, it's at the high of the year. No, I don't buy anything at the high of the year. Second reason, April, May, August, November. Those are monthlies. I don't do monthlies. The numbers just don't work. Ortego. We already looked at Kohl's earlier today. Okay. So what else do we have here? Luis, thank you for that. Poor man's covered call. How does that work? Oh, it's a good question. We'll actually take a look at it tomorrow because I am done for the night. Harden, what about GLD? That's not actually gold, but it is a gold stock. Lobo, James, do you have some bad actors trying to impersonate your channel? Last I checked, there was 37, I believe. Yeah, 37 people pretending to be me. So if you think you're having a conversation with me, unless you pick up that phone and hear my voice at the other end of the phone, you're not having a conversation with me. I'm serious. Okay? I'm dead serious. If you're not on the other end of the phone saying, hey, James, how you doing today? Wonderful, great. The sun is shining and the grass is green, blah, blah, blah. No, it ain't me. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't text. I don't Instagram. I don't Snapchat. I don't Telegram. I don't WhatsApp. I don't do any of that stuff. I have a phone. I'm old school, and I got no problem admitting it. I am so old, so I got to write shit down. None of those actors are smart as James. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate that. Jonathan, believe it or not, is my #1 fan. Yay, Jonathan. All hail Jonathan. Thank you, Jonathan. But seriously, if you think you're having a conversation with me, and it's not on the phone, and you're hearing my voice, it ain't me. I appreciate one impersonator. Thank you. PBR, good investment in good dividend, part of my portfolio. Jim, sit tight for a second. PBR. Okay. Now, I didn't say I didn't like PBR. I just said I don't buy it. Okay? Because number one, maybe a couple of months ago, but she went from $11 to $21.50. That's almost that is 100% increase. Great, good for you, but is it going to continue up? Well, apparently not, because if it was worth more than 21, it would have went higher. But it didn't. Is it better to invest in bonds or stocks while Trump is in office? Jill, it really depends on what you're looking for. I have never, ever, ever seen a bond that offers more than 10 or 15%. Never. No dividends, GLD. Then it's going to be a no. Can you give an example of hitting the wrong button? Well, yeah. You can sell instead of buy. You can buy instead of sell. You can... Okay. Here's your ticker symbol. Okay, right here, where is it? PBR, right there. Here's your premiums, your option premiums, right there. You can hit this button over here and buy, or you can hit this button over here and sell. And if you're doing the wrong one, you hit the wrong button. One of your clones trying to scam me. Hey, Oscar's house, how you doing? Well, Oscar, you should pick up the phone and talk to me. Is it better to invest? Okay, so Jill, if you want to have a conversation, drop your number. I'll give you a buzz. And I'll let you know, okay? Because I say that to everyone every night. If you want to have a conversation, DM me your number or go to the website and book a call. I'll have a conversation with you. And I can guarantee you 100% certainty I won't try to sell you anything. I mean, we were here for 2 hours. I didn't try to sell anything. It's not what I'm here for. I'm not here trying to sell you anything. You're all adults. You know how it works. Yeah, I've written a bunch of books. Yeah, I have the study course. Yeah, I have a trading group, blah, blah, blah. I made $5,400 on Dell. What a profitable mistake. Yes, sometimes it works out. Sometimes it don't. Yeah, we have a couple of guys in our trading group. One, he hits the wrong button all the time, but he always makes money when he hits the wrong button. It's like, what the hell were you thinking? I don't know. I didn't know what I did wrong. Whatever he did wrong, he still made money off it. Besides the button. Anyway. So I think that's it. So we have some mood music to get us moving through the day. You guys have a great day, and we'll do this all again tomorrow. Actually, yeah, we'll do this all tomorrow. So that being said, some mood music, if you will, maestro.
Meet the revolutionary invention that's going to put the eyeglass industry out of business. All glasses have a flaw we all learn to live.
There we go.
And dive into the deep.
Yeah.
Fixing the world while the
So,
rest
that being
of
said,
us sleep.
you guys have a great night. We'll do this all over again tomorrow.
No matter the strain,
So,
building your legacy through love and brain.
have a great night.
Julie knows that fire in your soul, the kind that lifts the broken heart. James, you reach the skies, no one dares. In your hands, the future's caught unawares.
Kay Ortega, we did calls earlier today.
You laugh as the eye keeps the daylight blinking. Every day's a quest, not some disguise. With dreams in the storm, the dream never dies. Retired, you say, with a wink and a grin.
I made 5 cents.
Podcast is rolling, rolling us in. Your compass is love, with your kids as your guide. Shining seas wide, with vision and pride.
619 517.
Julie's
619
here,
517.
who adores your spark. The dreamer who lights up the dark. James, you reach the skies, no one dares. In your hands, the future's caught unawares. Got to know what the hell were you thinking? You laugh as the eye keeps the daylight blinking. Every day's a quest, not some disguise.
Hello, hello, and how are you doing this evening?
Okay.
You left me a number, so I give you a buzz. So I said, hey, he just sent it 2 minutes ago. He's got to be up still.
Yeah, but I didn't expect you to be up.
Didn't you just see me live but didn't you see me live like 2 seconds ago?
Yeah, but like you were saying in that thing, is like I never know if I'm talking to the real person or not.
Oh my goodness. That's why I always say, drop me your number. I will give you a buzz.
And that's why I hit it.
So would you prefer me calling you tomorrow when you get a little bit of rest, or you want to just chat a little bit now?
No, I don't like chatting right now. Like my wife's watching old Christmas movies.
Old Christmas movies. Like which one?
Oh, like this one I say ain't that old. It's only about 10 or 15 years old. It's Christmas in Santa Fe or something like that. It's with Mario Lopez.
Oh, no more. No, you say no more. The wife is watching Mario Lopez. Okay,
Exactly.
I get it. It's not like Miracle on 34th Street or It's a Wonderful Life or...
That's the ones I watch usually.
Yeah, that's a Christmas movie. Anyway.
Exactly.
Okay, so I got a couple questions for you. Number one,
Okay.
does it make sense what I'm saying?
like I said, I'm just a little, I'm just not sure how smart I am in that because I've bought stocks and I have about, I don't know, not that much. I only have like 20 or 30 grand in